what should I do? Should I do this? Okay, I think I figured out how to have too many pom-poms. No, that's not gonna happen. Oh my goodness. Hello and welcome to a very special Math Monday. It is December, and that means that it's Christmas time officially. So what I'm gonna be doing this month is a bunch of Christmas themed Math Mondays. You don't think I can do it? You just watch. There's so many things that I could do for Christmassy Math Mondays. So for my first Christmas Math Monday, I want to talk about Pom-Poms. Okay, so right away you might be thinking, that's not really Christmassy. Those are just like crafty. Okay, for me, pom-poms are Christmassy because I do so many things with pom-poms at Christmas time. I use them for bows. Instead of putting bows on presents, I put pom-poms on presents. I make Christmas garland out of pom-pom. Look how cute that is. See? Come on. I make earrings with pom-poms. I make everything with pom-poms, and for me, they just are so Christmassy. So, let's do some mathematics behind the making of a pom-pom. So what we're going to figure out today is how much yarn we need to make the perfect pom-pom of diameter D. So my pom-poms that I'm making are about diameter of 5 centimeters, but of course you can make different sizes. So what if you want to make a bigger pom-pom or a smaller pom-pom? How much yarn is needed? How much yarn did I even use for this? How many balls of yarn am I going to need to get if I want to make like a gazillion pom-poms? Questions I have all asked myself while pom-pom making. So I make my pom-poms using these little things. You can actually get pom-pom makers, but what I do is I just take a round object of the size of the pom-pom that I want, and then I cut it out and I take like a quarter or a nickel or something, and then I like make that, and then I make a little slit. Yeah, homemade pom-pom maker, fantastic. So here's what it looks like drawn out. So if we look at this pom-pom maker, it's about 5.5 centimeters total diameter, but then we have this hole in the middle that's about 2 centimeters. So I take 5.5 and I subtract 2, that's equal to 3.5. If I want the width of the whole thing around, I have to divide that by 2. So we get 1.75 centimeters for the width of a pom-pom maker. Now, I'm going to be using extra yarn to wrap around this pom-pom maker, so it's going to be a little bit more than 1.75. It works out to be about 2 centimeters. All right, so I'm going to take this pom-pom maker and I'm going to start wrapping the yarn around this pom-pom maker. Of course, as we figured out, the first wrap is about 2 centimeters long here. So each full wrap is about 4 centimeters because I need obviously double that. And so to go around this entire pom-pom maker, I need about 25 wraps. So there's 4, 5, 6, 8. All right, so I have my pom-pom maker here wrapped with 25 wraps, but of course that's only the first layer. If I were to cut that off right now, that would be like the lamest, most floppiest pom-pom ever. So what I actually have to do is I need to wrap it around another 25 times, but the other direction. But now, since we already have a layer of yarn in there, it's gonna get a little bit thicker. So each wrap I'll need about 5 centimeters of yarn per wrap, and then we're gonna wrap it around another 25 times. All right, so there we go. I have my second layer of wrapping, and of course, it's still not enough. That's still not gonna be a nice pom-pom. That's gonna be a pretty lame pom-pom, okay? So now I need to do a third layer of wrapping, and of course, it's gotten even thicker. So this time it's gonna be about 6 centimeters that I need of yarn for each wrap. Okay, so I'm going back over in the third time. All right, so there we go. Now I have 3 wraps around this whole thing, and that should get me a pretty nice pom-pom. That's about what I had to do for these pom-poms. So what did I do? I did 25 wraps 3 times, so that's 75 altogether, but each layer got a centimeter thicker, but we went 4, 5, 6. But basically, the average length I need for each wrap is 5 centimeters. We can't average that down because if we do 25 at 4, 25 at 5, 25 at 6, that's just an average of 75 fives. oh my goodness, isn't 5 centimeters the diameter of the pom-pom that we want to make? I wonder if that's a coincidence. It's not. So to figure out the length of yarn that I used to make this pom-pom, or I'm using to make this pom-pom, so that's 25 wraps, 3 times, and each wrap was 5 centimeters long. So we multiply those all together. But another thing that I need about 30 centimeters of yarn again to be able to wrap around this yarn, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. So I'm gonna take about another 30 centimeters there, and you'll see what that's for in a minute. But that's how I can get my length of yarn. So that is 405 centimeters for each pom-pom, which, by the way, the next step I'm gonna do is go in between the 2 things and start cutting this pom-pom up. So most balls of yarn are about 99 to 100 meters. This one is 99. So if I want to know how many pom-poms I can make with that, obviously all I need to do is take 99 meters and divide that by how much it takes to make one pom-pom, which here we have in centimeters, 405 centimeters, but in meters, since there's 100 centimeters in a meter, that's 4.05 meters. Therefore, 99 divided by 4.05 is 24.4, which obviously I'm not going to make 24.4 pom-poms, so that's 24 pom-poms. Think about everything you could do with 24 pom-poms. So by the way, what I do with this extra piece of string is once I have it all cut, it still has the cardboard things in there, I just wrap it in between the cardboard cutouts, and then I tie all the yarn together. So once it's all tied up, now we can take the guides off. But of course, since we had those different wraps, some of them were 6 centimeters, some of them were 4, you get this really weird shaped pom-pom. So what I do from there is I take my guides that are the diameter, or just about the diameter that I want, and guess what? I squish it down and I can cut off the excess. And we will be left with a beautiful pom-pom with a diameter of 5 centimeters. So what if I want to make a pom-pom that was a different size? What if I want to make smaller or bigger? Let's make a general formula so I can always know how much yarn is needed to make a pom-pom of any diameter D. So again, what did we do? For the length of a pom-pom of diameter D, the length of yarn was 25 for the number of wraps we did, but we did that 3 times, so we need to multiply that by 3. And then we multiplied that by the diameter of the pom-pom, because that just happens to be the average length of each wrap that you need. But then of course I needed that extra 30 centimeters just to tie it all together. So what I can do is generalize that into the formula L is equal to 75 times the diameter plus 30. But really, if you think about it, what if you want to make an even stiffer pom-pom? I personally like my pom-poms a little bit thicker and stiffer. The really floppy ones are good for on top of hats, but really not for much else. If you want to make earrings, if you want to put them on top of presents, if you want to make a garland, a nice, stiffer, thicker pom-pom is much better. So what I'm actually going to do instead of making that equation, it should really be an inequality, meaning that the length should actually be greater than or equal to 75 times the diameter plus 30. So say I want to make bigger pom-poms. I want to make pom-poms of diameter 7.5 or something like that. Then I take 75, multiply by 7.5 and add 30, and I know how much length I'll need for one pom-pom. All right, and once you have done all your trimming with the guides, you can kind of go through and trim just a few extra things, make it as round as you want it to be. I like pom-poms to be nice and round. And then look at this pom-pom. Look how cute it is. See? Could just make a bunch of more of those. And now that I have a formula to tell me how much yarn I need for each pom-pom, depending on its size, I know how many balls of yarn to get. There we go. We just took a craft and made it math, and that just might be the best thing that I've ever experienced in my life. So, to conclude, pom-poms are the best, and you can use math in anything. That's it. I'm going to see you guys next week for another Christmas-themed Math Monday. Have a great week. I can't reach the... my foot's asleep. I can't reach the camera.